news here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The diarrhea outbreak in one barangay in Santo Tomas, Davao del Norte has worsened, with the number of afflicted residents now close to 500. Our correspondent, Jem Avancenia, is on the ground to give us updates. Jem, has the local government figured out what's causing this, and how are the sick residents doing?
Sean, 3 residents have died from the diarrhea outbreak in Barangay Tulalian here in Santo Tomas, Davao del Norte. At least 80 patients are still recuperating in 3 different hospitals. 3 others, meanwhile, have also tested positive of COVID-19. Many residents are still coming to and from the barangay health centers as they experience stomach ache, loose bowel movement, even vomiting. Mayor Ernesto Evangelista said their water supply has been contaminated due to alleged water tapping. Private firm Tulalian Water System Association is in charge of the village water supply. Their water samples were found to have E. coli, the bacteria found in excrement and improperly cooked meats. The barangay has implemented water rationing for the meantime. Sean, the LGU has temporarily suspended operation of Tulalian Water Supply Association pending investigation. It has also given financial assistance to hospitalized patients. Sean?
All right, thank you for that update and stay safe down there. That was our correspondent, Jem Avancenia, reporting to us live from Davao del Norte. Health experts are once again urging the public to get their COVID-19 jabs, as they note a significant difference between chest x-ray scans between vaccinated and unvaccinated patients. JC Cosico with the story.
39-year-old frontliner Hansel Keeling received his first dose of AstraZeneca's vaccine back in March. But less than 2 weeks after, he contracted COVID-19 and had to be admitted in a hospital.
Talagang naghihingalo, nahabol yung hininga, grabe na. Nilalagnat na rin ako. Dahan-dahan. Then medyo nag-progress. Mahirap na mahirap yung lagnat ganun, where I'm picking up to 39 to 40.
Keeling believes that had he not gotten his first shot, his situation would have been worse.
Halos wala na akong right lang or tapos left lang ko halos parang fist na lang yung laki. So talaga nakakabahala. Sabi nung pulmonologist ko, definitely baka pag hindi ko man nag-worsen yung scenario, sabi niya, baka ma-intubate kita. So, on my 5th day, bumalik yung pulmonologist ko. Talagang amazed na amazed siya. Wala kang first dose, siguro nag-worsen pa yung paglamon o pagkain ni COVID dyan sa mga baga.
Keeling recovered from COVID-19 after 8 days at the hospital. He is also now fully vaccinated.
Yung immune system ko nag-prepare. Kaya nga lang, first dose nga lang. Pero alam na nila, kung sundalo nga yung immune system ko, may mga baril na sila for COVID, kaya lang kulang. Pero pumapalag. Yun ang maganda doon. Hindi yung katulad ng wala kang bakuna.
In a Facebook post, infectious disease specialist Dr. Ann Gabriel Chan shared cases of breakthrough infections among her patients. 3 patients received their vaccines. After contracting the virus, they were either asymptomatic or mild cases, which can be seen in their chest x-rays. Meanwhile, for this unvaccinated patient, he experienced severe COVID-19 symptoms. In Philippine General Hospital, the number of personnel who tested positive after getting vaccinated with Sinovac and AstraZeneca decreased. Data show that only 26 cases were recorded in May 2021, a 50% decline from 50 cases compared to the same period last year. In June this year, 28 cases were recorded, compared to over 100 cases in 2020. PGH spokesperson Dr. Jonas De Losario says these data only show that vaccines really work. The health department echoes this, saying that this can also be observed in other hospitals.
We're getting this kind of reports also from our other hospitals kung saan bumaba na po ang mga kaso na nagkakasakit na healthcare workers ngayon dahil most of them are fully vaccinated already. So dito pa lang po sa mga ganitong anecdotal reports and evidences, we can say that vaccines really work.
Experts add, COVID-19 vaccination helps stabilize the number of COVID-19 cases.
Well, in the first place, hindi tumataas. Remember mo, 10 to 15,000 yata. Yung pinakamarami nung nag-surge tayo sometime after the Holy Week. You know? Tapos ngayon, nag-a-average tayo ng 5,000 a day. Mukhang nai-stabilize natin. So, the vaccines are working. At alam mo kung ano yung pinakamalaking proof natin doon is hindi tumataas ang death rates natin.
But DOH says there are many factors that contributed to decrease in deaths. As of July 21, around 16 million doses of COVID-19 shots have been administered in the Philippines, still far from the government's target of 70 million to achieve herd immunity. For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
Here are other stories we're keeping our eyes on. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, or BSP, has ordered Laika to suspend operations pending its registration as an OPS or online payment platform. The Hong Kong-based company allows users to pay for goods and services using gems, which are equivalent to cash. And the ACT Teachers Party List is again calling on the government to expedite its vaccine rollout for the education sector. Party Representative Franz Castro said the country cannot rely on blended learning for long, adding that limited face-to-face classes can push through only when teachers and school workers are inoculated. And no Pinoy athletes at the Tokyo Olympics will be sent home together with the coach who tested positive for COVID-19. Chef de Mission Nonong Araneta said none of the athletes were recognized as a close contact of the coach by the Tokyo Organizing Committee. In the Olympics playbook, a close contact is defined as someone who has spent at least 15 minutes with a positive case, 1 meter apart, without a mask on. We're going to pause for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Stay tuned. You're back on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas has welcomed the postponement of the FIBA Asia Cup that was slated for August in Indonesia. In a statement, SBP President Al Panlilio said they understand FIBA's decision due to the health risks involved. FIBA announced that Indonesia will still be hosting the Asia Cup, which will instead take place in July 2022. Gilas Pilipinas is off to Jordan to play in exhibition games as preparation for the tournament. And setbacks brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic has marred the months leading up to the Tokyo Olympics. Let's look back on that journey in this Bloomberg Quick Take.
Kurumi Mori in Tokyo. Finally, it's the long-awaited Tokyo Olympics. The Summer Games kick off in the shadow of COVID-19, delayed by a year. So how did we get here?
In 2013, Tokyo was named the host of the 2020 Summer Olympics. But with under 5 months to go before the start, the Games were postponed by a year. Organizers kept the Tokyo 2020 name, saying they wanted the event to be seen as a, quote, light at the end of the tunnel. As the torch relay began in March of 2021, celebrations were scaled back. Then the decision to ban all overseas spectators was made. In early July, Olympic organizers decided to go without any spectators at most venues, including locals, as Japan grapples with a new wave of infections.
That means no fans are allowed at events in and around Tokyo, including inside this new Olympic stadium designed by architect Kengo Kuma that was set to welcome 60,000 spectators and cost $1.6 billion to build.
The loss of fans deals a fresh blow to a tourism industry counting on revenue from Olympic visitors to recoup some of the losses from the pandemic. To give just one example, hotels are left facing 1 million cancellations. Still, tens of thousands of people, including athletes, officials, and journalists from more than 200 countries, are entering the Japanese border.
Which brings me to the big question, are the preparations enough?
Many athletes and officials are in the so-called bubble within the Olympic Village to keep them isolated from the general public. But we've already seen positive cases there and even outside the village too. Since July 1st, more than 90 COVID cases have been recorded among people associated with the Olympics.
Now, organizers are hoping that COVID-19 guidelines outlined in the so-called playbooks will be enough, but already we're seeing signs of the challenges of hosting the world's biggest sporting event in the pandemic era. I'm Kurumi Mori in Tokyo.
For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.
On July 26, 2021, the President will deliver his SONA one last time. One News brings you the complete coverage of this year's SONA. From the pre-event talks to the post-event analysis. Know what his administration did in the past 5 years and what needs to be done before his term ends on The Duterte Years. Broadcast starts at 2:30 p.m. here on One News.